For decades, luxury brands have sold us the dream: elegance, status, exclusivity. A handbag that costs $5,000. A watch worth more than a car. Shoes that don't just walk, they talk. They whisper wealth, prestige, class. But now, that dream? It's cracking. And the country shaking the whole industry to its core is China. Because while the West has been worshipping logos and chasing limited editions, China has quietly pulled back the curtain and exposed one of the biggest scams in the luxury world. It started with a question millions of Chinese consumers began asking: why are we paying 5 times the price for something that costs $200 to make? The luxury world wasn't ready for the answer. Inside China, a new generation of tech-savvy, globalized consumers wasn't just buying luxury. They were studying it, breaking it down, tracking it. And what they found shocks them. First, the price disparity. A luxury bag from a major French brand sold for $2,500 in Paris, but $3,800 in Beijing. Same model, same materials, different markup. Chinese shoppers started comparing receipts, posting side-by-sides. And soon, the truth was out: China was being charged more. Not because of taxes, not because of shipping, but because brands believed they could get away with it. Why? Because luxury brands had spent years building a myth, an aura of scarcity and exclusivity that only certain people could afford to access. China's booming middle class became the perfect target. But here's the twist. Many of these so-called exclusive luxury items weren't even that exclusive. Chinese buyers began investigating production runs and discovered something shocking: brands were mass-producing limited editions in secret, flooding the market, and still selling them at full luxury prices. Factories in Italy and France weren't always making the goods either. In some cases, the products were being manufactured in the same factories used for cheaper brands, just with a different logo stitched on at the end. That blew up online. Suddenly, social media in China exploded with hashtags like luxury ripoff, fake exclusivity, and real price versus retail. Millions of views. Millions of angry customers. Influencers called out specific brands. Even ex-employees began leaking info anonymously. Then came the influencer scandal. A well-known Chinese fashion blogger did something most influencers wouldn't dare. She took apart a $4,000 handbag, literally disassembled it, and had the materials appraised by independent craftsmen. The results? The leather was average. The stitching was inconsistent. And the total material and labor cost was estimated at under $300. People lost their minds. This wasn't just about money anymore. It was about deception. About value. About the illusion luxury brands had built for years, and how easily it was shattered. And while Western consumers still chased brand names, China began to shift. People didn't stop buying luxury. They just started redefining it. They moved toward quiet luxury, products with quality, craftsmanship, but no logos. Local designers exploded in popularity. So did niche global brands that focused on substance over status. And the big names? They started panicking. Major luxury houses flew their top execs to Shanghai, Beijing, and Shenzhen, desperate to repair trust. Some tried launching China-exclusive lines. Others slashed prices quietly or increased transparency in their sourcing. But the damage was done. Because it wasn't just about China anymore. The story went global. Western media picked it up. Consumers in Europe and the US started asking similar questions. Why is this watch $12,000? What exactly am I paying for? Who made it, and where? And that's when resale platforms exploded. People began buying second-hand luxury, not just to save money, but because they no longer trusted the new market. If a $3,000 bag was made for $250, they'd rather buy it used at $900 and skip the scam. The resale boom became a $40 billion industry, and guess who's leading the growth? Chinese apps and platforms, built by young consumers who once worshipped luxury, and now know better. So what's the scam? The scam is this: luxury brands spent billions convincing us their products were rare, elite, and worth anything they asked. In reality, much of what they sold was mass-produced illusion, a marketing masterpiece designed to play on status, insecurity, and aspiration. And China? Just exposed it to the world. This story isn't about hating luxury. It's about demanding honesty. If you're paying $5,000, you deserve $5,000 in quality, not $300 in leather and $4,700 in hype. What China did was pull back the velvet curtain and ask the one question luxury brands never wanted to hear: is it really worth it? Because in the age of information, where receipts are global and lies can't hide, the new luxury isn't about logos anymore. It's about truth. And truth can't be manufactured.